Okay, so we're going to talk about integration by parts right here, which is an integration technique that lets you solve things that you normally wouldn't be able to solve using your normal techniques, primarily U substitution. But it's a pretty cool technique that lets you solve things like this. All right, so this is the integral of x e to the 2x dx. You could try to do a U substitution here with the 2x, but that wouldn't really work. And if you try to do it with the x, that just is the same as doing the integral with respect to u with all the x's changed out, so that doesn't really help us. So what is integration by parts really? So it's a technique that when your integral is in the following form, u dv, you can write it as uv minus the integral of v du. So what does this actually mean? So the u here is some function. The dv is the derivative of some function. uv are the u from here and the integral of dv. And then here we have the integral of dv and the derivative of u. So this is a pretty odd thing that comes from actually the product rule, but we'll not talk about the derivation right now. We're just going to do a very small example with this problem right here. So how do you know which thing should be your u and which thing should be your dv? Well, in general, if possible, you should make your u the thing that if you keep taking the derivatives, that eventually it goes to 0. So in our case, that's the x. So we're just going to label here. I like to write my stuff out like this. du, dv. So u is the thing that if I take derivatives, I'll eventually go to 0. So I'm going to make that x. So then I have du, which is just dx, the derivative of x. dv is e to the 2x. Here, we should integrate this to get v. To integrate it, we would do a u substitution with a 2x, and we would eventually get 1/2 e to the 2x. All right, technically this should be the dx term here. So we had u here and dv here. And now we just apply this formula. So this integral that we're trying to calculate, integral of x e to the 2x dx, or integral of u dv, is equal to uv, which is x times 1/2 e to the 2x, right, minus the integral of v du, which is this times this. So 1/2 e to the 2x dx. So this part here we can simplify a little bit by factoring out this 1/2. And then we can integrate this part here like we did for the dv here, so we just get another 1/2 as a factor, plus c, and we'll carry this part down. Okay, so if we simplify this as much as we can, or as much as we'd like, you get 1/2 x e to the 2x minus 1/4 e to the 2x plus c. So this is the very basic integration by parts, and we'll explore this more in later problems.